So in today's world, we all know that LinkedIn is the new CV. Your LinkedIn profile is going to be a major cause and major factor in you landing a job of your dreams. So whether you're a student, whether you're in college, whether you're about to start applying for internships, or you're already in the industry, already in the corporate world, this video is going to be for you. There are hundreds of thousands of videos on LinkedIn, on YouTube, which gives us tips on how to improve our LinkedIn profile. But we've compiled 4 tips which we feel are the easiest to apply, which have the highest impact. So apply these 4 and hopefully very soon you should get the job of your dreams. So these tips are not going to be the generic ones. We all know you need to have a really professional profile photo. We know that you cannot have any grammatical or spelling errors in your profile. We know that it's better if you have the 500 plus connections mentioned on your profile. Of course, add as much of all your awards and achievements as possible without being irrelevant. These are the things which are very obvious, very basic. So we are not going to talk about that. Tip number 1 from our side is customizing your profile URL. Now, as you'll see on the screen, you have the option on LinkedIn to customize your profile URL, because what LinkedIn gives you by default is a chunky, clunky kind of, like for example, if it's Pratham Barot, it'll be Pratham Barot with A, 7, 10, 15, B, D. They'll give that kind of a code and it becomes a very long URL, which you don't like putting on your CV or emailing to somebody. Instead, there is a shortcut. You can edit the profile and shorten it. So it can become just, LinkedIn / Pratham Barot. And that when you put it on your CV, you put it on an email, it looks extremely professional. And the most important thing is it shows the employer that you've taken the effort to edit. It shows that you've taken the effort to strengthen your profile, and that goes a long way. All right, tip number 2. Now, again, something which many of us know but don't apply is ask frequently, unabashedly for recommendations. Now, when I used to work earlier at PwC, when I left, I asked everybody. I asked not only my immediate senior, but my senior. I asked my peers whether they were in my team or not. I even remember asking clients, and I was very, like I called it, unabashed when I went to ask them. Based on a conversation I'm having with somebody, I'll very simply and honestly tell them that I'm trying to build my LinkedIn profile. Do you mind having something specific written as a recommendation? Nobody says no as long as you're asking the right person. I'm sure that you'll only ask people who you've worked well with. And do request them that please don't give a basic generic that, oh, Pratham has been great to work with. Try and go a little in depth, that I worked with Pratham on this transfer pricing project with this client, and he saved our time by these many hours, or he's increased the revenue by this much amount, or just that he's an energetic, enthusiastic personality, who's really fun with attention to detail. You can check so many people's recommendations and use those as references to ask your peers and seniors to write a similar recommendation which is specific to you. Tip number 3, filter the right connections and send personalized invite messages. Again, it's nothing new, but it is incredibly tedious, boring, frustrating because you don't see results for a long time, at least when you put in this effort. So let me explain. When you start LinkedIn, right, a lot of us just bombard random people to build connections, which is fine, go through it. It's fine. Maybe get your number of connections to 500 plus by sending random people invites. But if you're looking for a specific role, if you are looking for a change, if you're looking to get recruited, you will have to filter out the connections. For example, if I want to look, let's say I want a role in investment banking. I have the right credentials. Obviously, that's important. Don't just apply for things which you won't be eligible for. But I have the right connections, and I'm looking for JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, for example, these 3 companies. So I'll make a list of the companies that I want. And I'm giving an example of 3. Please make a list of at least 20, 25 companies because you will have to put in that kind of effort. Now, I won't just search for JP Morgan and add everybody who comes along in my path. Under JP Morgan, I will then search for JP Morgan HR, JP Morgan Talent Acquisition. If I have a specific department I want to get recruited in, then I'll search for that department and that department's partner, director, manager. It is extremely taxing to do this for so many companies on a daily basis for weeks and weeks. and get no response. But trust me, you do not know what's playing in the background. It is extremely powerful. Also, when you filter the right person and you're about to send the connect message, do not let the default message of, hi, I'd like to add you to my professional network. So it's very bland. Everybody ignores it. Have a slightly customized invite message sent to everybody. Do not copy paste. Everyone knows when it's a cold invite. So the more specific you are, you might not realize the impact of it. But trust me, as somebody who receives hundreds of invites every week, I do look at the invite message and also take a call on that. So do the recruiters for you. So here's an example of how a personalized invite message should look like. You'll have to probably go through their profile, find something which you can have, add a sentence, add a point in the invite message, and then send it to them. And you'll have to do this over and over again. I was just talking to Zen. He really had tried a lot on, when he wanted to change from his previous role. He tried going on different websites. He asked for referrals. He connected to people on LinkedIn. But it was so basic that it never yielded any result. Then we sat and we discussed and we said, you know what, we're just going to 10x his effort and he's going to do this. He's going to filter the right people, send them the right personalized invite and do it non-stop without looking back for a minimum of 30 days. When he took that effort literally and he started doing this, it didn't immediately start. But after a week, 10 days, he started seeing the returns. And by the end of the month, he did land up the kind of role that he wanted. So apply it, take these templates, use what we are suggesting, see what a difference it makes to you. And finally, tip number 4, turn off your activity broadcast when looking for a role. Now, if you're already working somewhere, for example, and you want to shift, right? You can't quit and overnight get a new job. It's going to be a transition. Probably towards the end of your existing role, you're going to start searching aggressively for other opportunities, which means you're going to be active on LinkedIn, which means, with other HR posts, you're going to comment, you're going to like it, you're going to show that you're interested, you're going to reach out to different people. And you probably don't want people from your existing company to know yet. So there is an option which you'll see on the screen where you can turn off these activity broadcasts. So if you do comment on another company's HR post saying that you're interested or you would like to apply, your existing peers may not need to know that, and you have the ability to do that. Apply this if you're worried, and that's if specifically if this reason is slowing you down in searching for the right role, apply this technique. So guys, those were our tips of LinkedIn for LinkedIn. We recommend this to all of our students, and most importantly, candidates like Zen have actually seen how it pays off, and that's the reason we have more confidence in these techniques. So I hope that it's been a little unique, it's been a little different, and most importantly, it's transferable enough that you can turn off this video and start applying these techniques. If there's anything else that we've missed, please do let us know, and do subscribe to this channel if you have not already.